Hi guys, welcome back. Well, Jim is in New Jersey and I'm here in Alaska holding the fort down. I wanted to do a video talking about traveling solo, how I feel about it, if I feel safe. Because one of the questions that we get asked quite often is, do we feel safe in the van? And I wanted to address that in today's video and show you what we do to feel a sense of comfort and security when we're out in the middle of nowhere or when we're in a city. Thank you for joining me as we hit the road. Let's go. Jim and I both travel for work, and I travel more often than he does. I actually go to cooler places than he does. Right now he's in New Jersey and I just got back from Hawaii. So we are used to being apart from each other. The longest we've ever been apart is 3 months, and generally when we are apart it's a couple of days. This time it's 2 weeks, and then he has to leave again in a short period of time for probably about a week. So when he leaves, my world doesn't shut down. I keep going. I still travel in the van. I still go out and have fun. The only difference is I don't usually show it. Right now, I'm not going to show you exactly where I am. I don't tell people in advance that Jim is going to be gone. We usually tell people about our travels or post on social media sometimes a week, and it's been up to a month after we've left the actual area that we've been in, and that creates a sense of comfort and safety for me. The other thing we do is I am always prepared, both mentally and physically, for if anything ever happens. My mental preparedness comes from knowledge and being aware of my surroundings. If it doesn't feel right, I leave. I go somewhere else. The other thing is preparation in what we have. We showed you our winter gear, and the past couple of days I haven't been comfortable actually going any much further than where I'm at right now because the roads have been ridiculous. It's been like, see, that's like ice falling down. The roads have been crazy. It's like 40 degrees one day, and then it turns into 21 degrees the next day, which turns the roads into pure ice, and then it snowed last night. So driving around today was a little bit nerve-wracking, and I'm very comfortable being right here and just hanging out with Ember. So we showed you our equipment, and the other thing that we get asked all the time or suggested is that we should be armed. And to tell you straight up, I am always armed. Not only am I armed, but I am also trained very well on how to use a weapon and practiced quite often. For those of you that are reasonable gun owners, you'll understand why we don't show it on YouTube, why we don't flash it around. And I just wanted to put it out there that yes, we are armed, but that is the absolute last resort when it comes to feeling safe. I actually don't think about what we have in terms of firearms very often. In an instance where I don't feel safe, I start to think about more of the layers of security as you would do with like a home security system. We have our lights, we have our locks, we have Ember. She's vicious. So as you can see, there's somebody right outside my van right now, and this is how Ember reacts. So as soon as she starts doing this, I know that somebody's around. So I found this cool little spot that is known for fat tire biking and cross-country skiing and snowshoeing, which is on our list to do this winter. Today would be the absolutely perfect day for it, but I decided to let Ember get out of the van for a while and take her for a walk. We're gonna go explore this and see how it goes.
You call me a saint, but you know I'm a stranger, all willing and able to do what you want. You think I'm a thinker, but I'm just a singer, all me, don't let me ever be this alone. I'm falling, I'm falling, I'm falling, I'm falling, I'm falling. You shouldn't be trusting me, I could be making it all up, you know. Out of control, you don't know, babe. I'm a danger to myself.
If you're planning a trip to Alaska, you might be surprised by the cell phone service coverage here. We have AT&T, and almost predictably, we can determine where we will and will not have cell phone service. If I was to be doing this completely alone for a long period of time, let's say when Jim has to leave again for another 3 months, more than likely, I would either stay in areas that have cell phone service, or by then we will have our Garmin, or we will have some sort of satellite phone, which would make me feel so much better. In our last video, when we were making an attempt to go to the Arctic Circle, that's where I started to get a little bit uncomfortable, as I knew that we were out in the middle of nowhere. It was minus 40 degrees. We had an idiot light come on the van that we didn't know what it meant, but we're working on a solution to the problem that we've had when we were in the Arctic Circle. It's just taking a long time, and it also means that we'd have to be without our van for 2 weeks. And right now, I really don't want to do that. I can't see any time in the foreseeable future that I'm willing to be without the van for 2 weeks. We've been a little bit selfish in that area where we have a fix for it. We just don't want to have to give all this up. It's one thing to worry about people and breaking in when you're out boondocking or in the middle of nowhere, or when I'm traveling by myself. When it comes to people, I often feel less comfortable when I'm in a Walmart parking lot or Cabela's, or even when I'm out shopping alone, because when there's more people around, it's more likely that they are able to notice that I am traveling by myself, that I am in a van, and that's when my guard is up a little bit more than it might be if I was out boondocking. When I'm out in the middle of nowhere, the last thing I'm worried about is other people. Now, am I aware of it? Absolutely. But am I concerned that somebody's going to break in during the middle of the night or attack me? Not quite so much. Now, when it comes to animals, keep in mind that Jim and I have been in Alaska for a really long time, and we actually have to go searching for animals. One of the things that I do concern myself with, especially when I'm alone and driving, is moose, because my major concern is hitting a moose going 50, 60 miles an hour. Now, I can tell you I am not worried about bear attacks or any other animal attacks, but I am worried about hitting a moose on the highway. And to help me with my loneliness, I discovered Tim. Or it might be Kim. I'm not really sure because I haven't asked. But Tim makes a really good travel partner. He's quiet. He doesn't take up a lot of space. I don't know if I can do this. Okay, so okay, do I I can't even look at it. Oh my gosh. So another reason why I don't feel lonely is I always have Tim. Or maybe it's Kim. I'm not sure. I never really asked. But he's just chilling back there right now, and he makes a really good travel partner when I'm alone because he doesn't talk too much. He's quiet. He doesn't eat all my food. He doesn't take up any space in the bed. He's perfectly fine sleeping on the floor. The one thing about him, though, is he is not a very good navigator. And he's not very helpful when it comes to things like dumping the cassette toilet, helping with the groceries, helping clean up the van. He's kind of a slug. But the great thing about Tim is if somebody was to break into the van and that was the first thing they saw, they would think that, oh gosh, what would they think if they broke into the van and they saw something like that? And if people see me traveling alone by myself with that, they're going to think that I am just off the wall, bat poop crazy. So they're not going to want to have anything to do with me because that is right by my side. The other thing I do when I'm traveling alone is, it's common sense, but we have the app Find My Friends. And on Find My Friends, we have both each other, and we also have our kids. We also have several friends who are able to track us and see where we're at any point. And no matter where we go, we always tell somebody where we're going to be at before we go. And that's something that sometimes people forget to do. And oftentimes when people forget to do stuff like that, that's when they find themselves in bad situations. So always tell somebody where you're going, what your plan is, and when you plan to be home. Okay, so I'm going to bed early tonight because I am excited to get up in the morning and go into Anchorage and pick Jim up from the airport. It has been really nice having this bed by myself, but I also really miss him. If you feel like I left anything out about van safety, traveling alone, go ahead and leave me a comment in the comment section below. Let me know whatever your tips or tricks are. I would love to hear from you. I'd also love to know where you're coming from. Where do you live? I would love to engage with the audience. It helps keep us grounded. If you like this video, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. And as always, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button because we have a lot more fun stuff coming up for you in the future. Stick around. We'll see you soon.